guys! Welcome back. Sorry, I know it's probably a weird start for everybody since it's just me on here at the moment. Forgive me, I need a second to hop around into the comments and whatnot. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday evening so far. And while we wait for Charlie to get here, I'm going to take a minute and show off what I've been working on all week. So, I'm sure you've seen the posts, and if you haven't, you can find my channel. Personally, it's Toxic Tunes on Facebook, but at long last, I have completed some of the salamanders. So what I've been working on this week, and I finally got set up, is my Redbubble store. So here you can find some of the ridiculous salamanders that I have been posting on multiple different things. Also, please don't come at me. I do not set the prices on Redbubble. I have tried to alter it, and about the most influence I have is like 50 cents at the best. So, it's also pretty simple. I have it set up in 3 collections, is what they call them right now. So the first one is the BDTR Salamanders collection. And then we have Simple Styles and Doodle Dump. And I need to figure out how to get it to where you guys can see that. And I'm not quite sure how. So I'll talk about it for a minute, and then when he gets back, I will have him switch screens. Forgive me, I'm definitely not the technology person when it comes to this kind of stuff. But, you know, I'm trying. Hopefully he'll be out soon. But, again, I have just a couple salamanders on there right now. I'm going to work on getting a few more put out there as well throughout the week. I needed a break today. Honestly, my brain hurts. Staring at pixels for so long just really, really hurts. Thank you for coming back, because I couldn't figure out how to switch the screen to show the shop.
Yeah, right as I get in there, I was like, shit, I didn't.
Yep.
Yeah, just for future reference,
Mm-hmm.
you just click on screen capture.
Okay.
And it comes up like
Thank
that.
you.
So.
All right, well, I was explaining it to him, so if you don't mind, let me keep it for a second, switch it back over.
Go ahead.
But to show you all now, and I will, after I'm done explaining, I'll put a link in the comments if anybody is interested. As soon as you click on the link, it'll take you here. You'll see it's, Toxic Tunes, that's me. You'll see part of the logo. Again, I'm new to the website. I don't know how to lower it. So sorry, it's kind of hard to see, guys. Not you, it's me. Yeah. But right now I have 12 designs on here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys for a minute. Again, so BDTR Salamanders is the one collection. And on here you will find the salamanders with phrases, whether they be cute or snarky, whatever. And again, right now it mainly shows off stickers, because who doesn't love stickers? But there is multiple other things that you can pick from. And once you click on the design, you can pick shirts, you can pick mouse pads. I kind of gave you guys a little bit of everything to pick from, because I don't know what you want. From there, though, if you want just the salamander, that would be under Simple Styles. You get the same exact salamander, just minus the words at this point.
Steven DeRosta.
Yes, we have Steven DeRosta. And then we have Steven again enjoying his pumpkin spice latte, because, it's the season. And then we have Queen Sally.
Honestly, did you show him the moth family?
I am getting to moth family. So
that's my favorite one. That turned out really good.
I'm excited with that. The final one is what I've called Doodle Dump. Now, this is just random stuff that I've drawn over the years, guys. This one's marked mature content because it's a nod to a game I played back in the day, and because the game was mature, I wanted to cover my butt. Anyway, my favorite one, though, as Chris was saying, is this moth family one. And honestly, I spent a long time working on this damn sticker. And I wish that it was a better image. Damn, it's tiny. Okay, there we go. So there is the moth family. And of course, right now we got Daddy Moth, Mama Moth, and Baby Moth. I only have this one up right now, but if there's anyone out there, like if you have a bigger family, if you like this design, I have it saved in a way I can add more baby moths. So just let me know, and I can get it uploaded.
Or if you hate kids and don't have any, we can take
remove it too.
The baby moth out too. So.
Baby moth can just go, and I can just keep it. I can remove the word family. Like I can tweak that one a good bit. With most designs, I can tweak them because I have the layers saved. So if you see something but you want something a little bit different, just reach out and ask. Worst I could say is no. I probably won't.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, we're not going to be able to have the Gunfather on there. I really wanted to, but I think Lenny will probably sue me if I do that. So
that one might be iffy. I am working on other designs. I do have a lot kind of prepped in the works, but again, I am only human, and it does take me about a full day to get one design done. because frankly, after staring at the pixels all day long, my head starts to
Well, you
hurt,
got
guys. I
she
need a
she
minute.
draws it and then she
Yeah.
scans it in and then plays with it on Photoshop. So it is it's kind of like how I do with the audio, and the reason it's always late going up on Spotify because I got to play with it, you know.
Yes.
So,
It takes me a hot minute, but I'm excited. I'm really happy to be back to
I mean,
drawing.
that even though it took you a while, I think that one turned out really good.
I
So,
really like that one because it was so cartoonish, and it was originally drawn for our daughter because she's obsessed with the Mothman. And she's like, I
yeah,
want a Moth
that's an
family picture.
understatement.
Yeah, obsessed is a major understatement. And soon she actually is inspired. She's been drawing a little bit, so eventually I will be adding another collection of her cute little doodles for you guys to giggle over. And I am actually going to also throw up some of my old photography because that was another major passion of mine. And frankly, I thought I got some pretty good shots in some of the planes at that air show.
Well, honestly, yeah, I think we could almost just make a separate page for all your old pictures that you took or
Yeah.
whatever.
I have thousands of
Give
pictures.
some Chris and a bit. Oh, it's another page. It's another fake.
But,
Whatever.
but everything will
She's
be.
still been quiet though. That's
It is
weird.
really weird.
That's
But
weird.
but again, guys, my personal channel is Toxic
Maybe she was
Tunes.
buying guns at
Maybe she
Lenny's.
was.
Maybe she was.
But if anyone wants to go and see anything before it goes to the shop, I do post on Toxic Tunes, which is my Facebook page. And it's also the easiest ways. I need turtles. Yes, I 100% need turtles.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I have 1,000 turtle
100%.
pictures. Like it's probably hard to
100%.
see, but I've got the turtle tattoo right here. Like I love turtles. They are next. Miles is one of my favorite turtles I've ever drawn. He's a gentleman who smokes a bubble pipe, and he has a top hat, and he wears cufflinks because he's a classy son of a bitch. I will definitely be adding turtles. But that's my long story short. I needed to take a moment to promote what I've been working so hard this week on, guys.
So I know you guys are all really excited to talk about the Gunfather.
Oh yes, we're
And
definitely ready for the gunfire.
just to make it harder for him to sue me, I guess. Lenny's not actually mentioned in any of the documents, but the classic car place, from what we'll go through it, but for what I'm reading, because I'm sure you guys know if you read through the complaint, which they actually put the whole complaint up. So I don't know if somebody over at WTAJ was like, well, you know, I'm sure somebody will go through this and figure out where the addresses are. But one of them, from the way I read it, it sounds like they actually.
Quick side note, I really want that softball jersey. That sounds awesome.
Softball. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, that we'll get to that later. Sorry, it was a major side note, but I
Oh.
genuinely appreciate it.
Okay. Well, so
Sorry, guys.
we'll get the screen capture to work right this time.
Yes.
I've been trying to train her to learn the software, and it's just, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
Watch yourself. You'll sleep on the
That's
couch
right.
again.
I said it.
You're going to sleep on the couch tonight.
I did last night, too, accidentally. um, so
Way off topic.
So yesterday it came out that they charged this guy, Wayne Faribault. I know you guys, everybody's been blowing me up for the last couple months because it has been months at this point. There's been no updates on this case. Everybody's like, what the fuck is going on? All right. I get it. Trust me. I feel the same way. So we get an update. Wayne Faribault gets arrested. First thing I do is look him up, right? Pull up his Facebook, this one. Wayne Faribault, manager at Lenny's Classic Car Collection. If you go through Lenny's page, there's tons of pictures of this guy on there. There's no doubt this is the guy, right? So back to the complaint, and it's interesting because he only gets charged with one count, I think, of like conspiracy to do this stuff. Because, and I couldn't figure out because, I know Craig and Harry both, and neither one of them are like super mechanically inclined, right? So I just didn't think that. I mean, the Polymer 80 stuff isn't. They sell kits, and that kind of went through court for a while where they can't sell the jig with the whatever. But I just didn't see either one of these guys making them. Now you got the manager at a classic car place. I mean, I'm sure they have lathes and drill presses and shit over there. Like it just makes a lot more sense now. Why they waited till now to arrest this guy, I don't know. He only gets the one charge, so it's like he was just the guy doing the thing, and apparently Craig was financing it, which I don't know. I still have a hard time believing Craig was dumb enough to get involved in this. I mean, I know everybody out there's got an opinion about Craig, but I just don't know how he would be that stupid because I know all of his stuff from years ago finally just got literally he got this stuff expunged like a month, I think, before this stuff allegedly started going down. So, because I kind of thought, oh, did Harry come crying to him? Oh, yeah, I need money, whatever, because that's how Harry is. Um, and maybe he just financed it and kind of got caught in the middle, whatever. But according to this affidavit, supposedly some of the guns were in his truck at this controlled buy, which is the way I read it. That because you'll notice Lenny's cars is mentioned, but one of the other addresses is La Fiesta. So I had people reaching out, hey, is there a cartel connection? Blah blah blah, whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. Way I read it, it just sounds like that's where one of the alleged controlled buys went down. I don't think La Fiesta or anybody there is involved from the way I read it. Like I said, we'll go through it here, but just to, because I think everybody loves La Fiesta. We don't want to lose
Yes.
that. So
Yes. And the La Fiesta was like is a treasure of
hopefully they're
Altoona.
not involved, and,
I
and
can't see that. Being in there as much as I was and like I feel
well, no,
like these people are so
when I
nice.
did Uber, I think it was Naomi that, and any of you guys out there know Naomi Harbaugh, just kind of laugh because some people get it, but
Yes.
so Naomi's like, oh yeah, this guy, I don't even know how to describe her honestly. Like either you know her or you don't.
She's a national treasure.
You did meet her, didn't you?
I'm pretty sure I did.
I think you
I'm
did. Well,
pretty sure I did.
she was doing Uber for a while too, and then she got
Right.
kicked off because she probably flipped out on some college kids or something. I don't know.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so, definitely. But like when Naomi flips out, because there's a story from years
New
ago
York.
when APD was over at an apartment, she threw a fucking microwave at one of the cops, and they were like, "You can't do that. She's, I could throw shit in my own house if I like." You just have to know the woman. Like she's a straight psycho, but I like her. She's a straight psycho, but I like her. So
She's rightfully unhinged.
yeah,
She's
if
she's
anybody knows
righteously
Naomi
unhinged.
Harbaugh, comment because you just have to know it. So anyway, back to the point. She was the one that kind of introduced me. There's the guy that runs La Fiesta. He has the one over in Ebensburg too, and a lot of times he'd either be going between there or he'd send employees between there, and he just would he'd rather just have a driver's personal number if you're available. Hey, can you take my employee, whatever, over
Yeah.
there? So, and I think I met him maybe once or twice, and he didn't come off as like a shady dude or anything.
No.
Not, I'm maybe not the best judge of character all the time, but I just
I've been in there enough.
I would
I
have been
concur.
surprised if he was caught up in this, and like I said, I don't think he is.
We've both picked up enough of the employees from there. Like they're all so genuinely like nice people.
Yeah,
I really like they were the people I looked forward to. Like when I saw their name pop up on the phone and where I was getting them from, I was like, yes, yes.
right.
I don't care how short the trip is. Y'all
And
are wonderful.
another thing here that people brought up, did willfully conspire and agree with each other and other persons known and unknown to the United States Attorney. So there was some speculation going on, and I think rightfully so, that as big as this is, I don't think these are going to be the only three that get picked up for this. I think there's still probably more shit. And you know what, honestly, if they're raiding Lenny's cars, which is the way I read this, obviously I wasn't there, I don't know, but they claim that they recovered firearms from their location, and we'll go through that. I don't think, I would hope that they're not going to just ignore that, okay, so the Fioreys are maybe not directly engaged in illegal activity, but it's right around them. How about we start looking into Operation Our Town? Because these businesses, these business people, they decide who gets investigated and who doesn't. Because they can say, we're not, it goes before the board, and they decide who gets investigated and who doesn't. So if there's any illegal activity going on, and it's any way related to them, their employees, whatever, do you think they're going to investigate them? That's the whole problem. That's what I've been saying for years, is the problem with Operation Our Town. So let's get into the rest of this. So there's a bunch of, they go through all the charges here and, legalese,
Did
whatever.
you post this anywhere yet?
One thing, it's on the, if you guys want to look at it, I guess I can just throw this down in the comments real quick.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to get, it is 15 pages. Obviously, I'm not gonna
Go through
insult you
all of it,
guys'
yeah.
intelligence and read it verbatim to you.
But if you want to read it verbatim yourself, now you can.
Yeah. So, and so I'm reading this, and I'm a gun guy. First thing catches my attention: Pioneer Arms machine gun model PPS 43 762 by 25. Now that's a Russian round. It was in the Tokarev, but I guess this PPS 43. I think that was like one of the guns in Call of Duty from like World War II, right?
I'm not sure
So
enough on that one to
I'm pretty
speak.
sure, but it's just weird to see that caliber in there. Like, and it says machine gun. So if you guys know anything about the way the laws work and stuff, it's like most of the machine guns you can actually, like legit ones you can get your hands on, are super old. So that would make sense. I mean, that thing probably killed Germans back in World War II. It might
It's
have.
seen some shit.
It might have. So, they're talking about Harry selling ammunition, whatever. They're saying on the 27th, Harry and Craig both possessed these machine guns, silencers. Let's go through here. I did read all this yesterday, and now I'm like trying to remember what's where, what I wanted to get to. But they definitely were doing allegedly the polymer 80 handguns, which that's like the most common ghost gun thing, whatever. I mean, this is really the first case I've ever seen where they were like legit pumping these things out. Because like normally they're always like, oh, ghost guns, and a lot
That's
of
pretty
times
cool.
ghost guns is one of those things. Terms like depending on what the actual definition is. For instance, like with mass shootings, you can have an instance where, depending on the criteria, if it's two casualties, you could have a murder suicide qualify as a mass shooting, depending on statistics.
Sorry, that comment was just too cool not to show you.
Stay on topic, man. Stay on topic. But no, that's awesome though.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of history and everything. But
That's why I had to tell you. Show you rather.
okay, so this is talking about Harry's prior convictions as to why he's prohibited from possessing firearms. And where does it get down? Somebody had made the comment to me yesterday that all the stuff Craig had some pretty nice gun collection or whatever. And here's the thing too, it's like, love or hate Craig or somewhere in the middle. He's a single guy, probably spent a lot of his money buying guns. So if he has this like huge stockpile, whatever. Now okay, so here's the addresses. The 3312 Pleasant Valley Boulevard. That's La Fiesta.
Mm.
Now the wording here: items seized at 3312 Pleasant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Items seized at the Limestone Road. Items seized at Gamelands. Now I'm assuming they didn't have like a weapons cache. So I'm assuming this is saying these were controlled buys, right? Now we get down items seized from. Items seized from.
Wording is very, very important.
So the way I'm reading this, guys, and if anybody has a different interpretation, let me know. The way I'm reading this, these were seized from the property, okay? So this is Lenny's cars, right? This is actually Craig's house. I'm sure everybody knows Craig's address because it's been in the paper like 100 fucking times, right? And you can see he's got a pretty nice collection here.
And that's the thing. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, I know several people that are just genuinely like old gun enthusiasts. They like to collect old weapons, whether it be guns, swords, whatever. They just like the history attached behind it. There's no nefarious purpose for it. They just like to collect guns.
Literally, they only took 20 guns. So, I mean, like,
That's not bad.
that's pretty light for a
I'd say.
collector, in my opinion.
Very.
I mean, if you obviously, I don't have that many. I haven't really. Basically every gun I ever bought, I bought for a specific reason, for it to fill a specific role, and I just don't like no additional roles have come around. So I haven't bought any guns in a while. I still can, unlike Paul DeVeglia, if I want to, but I don't want to, so I don't. Jesus, does my voice sound as bad as I think it does? It really sounds bad.
You
to
sound
me.
pretty gravelly through the mic to me. But it's
Jesus.
been like that all day.
It's just so like I don't. It almost has to be like an allergy. Something's pops up this time of year around
Well,
here or
I
something.
noticed
I don't know.
earlier when we went out, like all those little white fuzzies floating in the air and
Yeah.
crap. And the season's changing. It got us both. That and the gremlins back in school. And anybody who's a parent knows
Yeah.
that those kids bring home the literal plague the minute that they go back.
So,
So
so here's
I'm
something else
blaming
I
her.
found interesting too. They took a 2019 GMC Sierra truck,
Quit hitting the pipe.
which quit hitting.
That's why you're. Sorry. You
Man,
can
I don't.
tell I'm
I
tired.
barely even smoke. Like I'll tell you what,
Pardon
guys.
me.
Seriously, when I did, most of you probably saw, the car alarm terrorist, the satire thing I did, right? And I'm smoking a cigar for that, and like I literally start choking halfway through the damn thing because I don't. It's probably been a year since I even smoked a damn cigar, and then I had to get a fat one for the aesthetic, and
I'm the smoker between the two of us, so like that applies to me. But this man, no.
yeah, that's
I'm more shocked when I see him get a cigar because I'm like, oh shit, it's that level of fuck around. Okay, let's go.
well, like if you haven't smoked even like nicotine in a while, it's like,
It's a head rush and a half.
oh yeah, it's almost like you just shotgun a monster or something. Like you get that because it is a it's not an amphetamine, but it speeds up your
Heart rate.
yeah.
I can't remember.
I forget what
My
kind
brain
of
shot this
drug it
week.
is, but yeah,
Something.
supposed to be talking about guns, and we're talking about drugs, and like I honestly, if I could get away with it, I'd just pull up like Lawyers, Guns, and Money and just let the whole fucking song play because I think it applies here. Oh boy.
Sorry, we're off topic, but
So
this is fun.
yeah, so basically the big takeaway here, in my view, guys, is that fucking one of the Fiories is so close to a federal case. Okay, not close to getting charged. I'm sure if he was involved, he'll get out of it. But literally, his building, the way I'm reading this, gets fucking raided, right? And we're just gonna let Operation Our Town pull their shit over and over again. I mean, if Lenny has this going on at his bit, maybe he doesn't know about it. Maybe he's just an idiot. If Lenny has that, what's going on at the car dealership? What's going on at everything else? Yeah, what's going on? The ABCD whatever corp. What are these people up to? Because we already know with Operation Our Town, at least if they're involved in narcotics, they're not going to sign off on any investigation. It's just a fact.
Sorry, I
Why?
thought I heard the Yodes again.
Why would? Oh yeah, we got.
Coyotes, way too comfortable, and way too close, way too close.
They keep coming. I'll keep killing.
Yeah,
Put it that way.
Yeah.
So.
sorry, we got dogs and kids here. Nope.
So yeah, well, and I figured out, guys, I can still shoot. So whatever that's worth. Splash one.
Honestly, like one of my favorite memories since we moved down here, slightly off topic but on topic, was the morning that our daughter came downstairs and was freaking out about she has an inflatable like alien from like a fair or whatever. She had it for like 2 years, never bothered her. Out of nowhere, she's terrified of this thing. So she comes to dad and she's like, it's scary, it's scary, it needs to go away. So this man proceeds to prop it against a tree and blow it away. She had proper ear protection before anyone comes at me.
Full disclosure, I just use birdshot too because I'm kind of getting to be a pussy in my old age, and I don't like to run those like 3.5-inch magnums like I used to.
The joy on her face, though, especially watching as the mother, like it just made me so happy because like she was so happy because in her head, like she was safe.
Yeah.
Because she's doing a little dance. She's like, I'm safe now, I'm safe. And then she looks at him and she goes, throw it in the creek. And then we were
Finish him.
basically.
Get
It's still hung up outside, actually. We didn't pull it down yet. It's there's a daily reminder to her that dad will never let anything bad happen to her. She loves it. Honestly, at this point, she like usually when she's coming back from the bus, like she'll look at it and like stick her tongue at it and like and like just keep running to the house.
If
Again, slightly off topic. Sorry, guys.
anybody specific, I kind of just want to keep talking about this because this case is just fucking insane. But
It's weird.
if you want to call in, it's 412-440-3484. And please excuse my shitty voice tonight. I don't know what's going on with it.
She brought the plague to us. That's what it is. I'm telling you. Her teacher missed like an entire week, she said. So I'm sure that it's going around the school pretty hard right now.
I haven't missed a fucking day. I work 6 days a week, guys. I don't know if I ever told you that, but I do. It's, you got in I'm hoping we can transition Bidenomics to Bergonomics, for those of you too. If you guys want to call in and talk about the debate too, we can do that. Because honestly, like I had a ton. We were both tired. I
Oh,
didn't
I was
think there was
exhausted.
any fucking way we
We
were
were
going to
making
make
it
it
to
to 11,
11.
and we made it to 11. And
Not much longer after that, but we made it to 11.
we had to I think there was like about 10 people in here through the whole thing, which I was surprised because
That's what kept me going though. Like the fact that everyone was engaging in the comments, like that
oh
kept
yeah,
me there and kept me awake
oh
realistically.
yeah.
Like I love when you guys engage in the comments, whether it be like, hey, well, the little quips, poking fun or, on topic, off topic. We love when you guys
Hey,
engage. It makes it makes the
I
show
love when
amazing.
people get in the comments and
Yes.
roast me because usually they're right. Caleb was wrong in that for specific instance, but
I'm also confused. I know you fixed the setting, but my hair still looks like super silver right now, unless it's the dye finally working. I'm trying to get my hair white by Halloween for the costume that I have going on because our 6-year-old loves Jujutsu Kaisen, and any anime fan in here is going to hear that and cringe immediately. No, it was not my choice to let her watch. This child is intelligent. She decided to start the Xbox and put it on herself.
yeah.
It's basically extreme ghost hunting, and if you haven't watched it, don't. You're not ready for the emotional damage, okay? I'm saving you all right now. Just don't do it. My heart is still not okay. But she adores the show. So she's like, Mom, you should be Gojo. And I'm like, okay, what do you want to be? And she's like, I want to be the king of curses. And I'm like, you're terrifying.
Oh, the dog's going nuts too. I think the
Yeah,
Yodis
the
are
Yetis are
starting their
definitely
shit
out there.
again. But definitely, it's
It's been a long ass week.
it has. It's like every week now. It's
Yeah,
just
it's long.
long for no reason. Holy shit! I think there's like, oh no, that was on the BDTR. Oh, Fred Hunters is in there. If
I don't know if they're still there or
if
not.
if he yeah
But if you want to call in, you're welcome to. We're just rambling at this point.
yeah man, go for it.
And if we can't tonight, I definitely will want to do a different podcast on that because I would love a chance to talk about how absolutely terrifying AI is.
Yeah,
Especially as an artist, that just
that would be an interesting.
yeah.
Because that's the thing is, I mean, there's like yesterday when I found out about what had dropped in the gun case, I'm like, holy shit, that's wild. But I mean, it's been a day. It's been over 24 hours now, so it's not like we can come on the podcast. Oh, breaking news, guys! Because I did think about just going live. Problem is, on my route, the cell signal is so bad. You're lucky if you can even get Facebook to load. So like a live's probably not going to do anything. I guess I could have done like the my original video calling out Ted Simpson kind of went viral, and I just recorded that one and uploaded it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, Ted. You're a piece of shit.
That might be the best way for you to do it on the route because like that's usually I'm quiet on Saturdays because on Saturdays we
That's the
ride
only
with
way
you.
I'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
So
And I have like no internet the whole time. I'm trying to do anything on any of the pages at all, and my phone's just like, nope.
yeah, so like a little update of let me see if I can. I'm gonna pull up George's Facebook. So we've been diving pretty hard into Huntington County, right? And obviously, I think the write-in there, the write-in county commissioner election's like probably one of the most important things that's going to be going down. But Reader decided to put out some more bullshit.
Shocker.
So yeah, I mean, what doesn't he do when it comes to putting out bullshit? But so I guess he's saying now because George was on the Republican county committee over there, right? And Reader's been telling everybody he got fired. Well, he didn't get fired; he resigned. And he goes through. He's like, because according to the bylaws or whatever, you have to support the. And he, in good faith, he can't do that because Reader is he's shown himself just to be a clown. He's dishonest.
And Mr. George actually understands how to follow through with things
Yeah.
properly and understanding the bylaws. He decided to step away so he could rightfully, support who he wanted to.
This is what he says. My decision to resign was simple. I could not support Patrick Reader morally or ethically, so I resigned. No pressure, no this or that. Just a simple decision not to support a con man.
We summoned Mr. George into the comments.
Patrick Reeder cannot be trusted. He cannot be trusted to tell the truth, cannot be trusted to act ethically. He cannot be trusted to deliver on his false promises. He cannot be trusted with any fiduciary responsibility. He is a grifter. I will now concentrate my efforts on seeing Reeder soundly defeated in November. And honestly, with as much exposure as all that, I mean, Reeder still has his lackeys, just like Ted Simpson did. There's always going to be some idiot that's I'm going to support the moron. But yeah, oh, cricket's back.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was pretty intense for a second. Damn.
I mean, maybe Patrick will call in on this kind of off night where we're bashing the Fioreous a little bit.
You're absolutely right, Mr. George. Is all definitely true, and that's why we definitely want to take a second to highlight because you put that perfectly.
I haven't gotten a cease and desist yet. Is Lenny going to send me a cease and desist because I put we were drinking anything alcoholic at Lenny's Classic Cars? I mean, it's free advertisement, dude. Fuck you. Maybe you should pay a little more attention to what your employees are doing.
Oh man. Even when we're sick and not feeling good, you're still feisty as ever. I love it.
Yeah, it's not. Well, I mean, I've been kind of looking into the Fioreous for years.
Oh,
I mean,
I know.
the Operation Our Town thing is. We could do an entire episode just on my complaint that I sent to the Attorney General's office, which, by the way, years later, I've still not heard a single. You want to talk about crickets? That thing got crickets. Josh Shapiro is a fucking piece of shit. He just pigeonholed that because there were a lot of concerns in there that were never addressed because the AG office works hand in hand with the police department when they're doing these fucking drug busts. But one thing that I do find interesting is you don't really see anymore, at least I haven't seen in some time, these big 40, 50, 60, 70 person drug busts in Blair County. You don't really see that anymore. So I don't know. Maybe an impact was made. I don't know.
100% agree, Miss Deb. 100% agree.
All I know is they never gave me an official response. Which is weird because when Harry was dealing with the gun case and his wife sent in a complaint, they sent her a thing right back. It was like, oh, we can't help you. You have to get private counsel. Why didn't they say that to me? Now, the other thing is, so I submitted that officially to the Attorney General's office, right? Also sent it to every state rep, senators, representatives, whatever, in Pennsylvania that I could find an email address for. I think I got 2 emails back. One of them was like a canned response from Bob Casey, and I don't remember who sent the other one. So I get this canned response from some like intern in his office or whatever. It says, well, you probably just need to seek personal counsel. Like I needed to hire an attorney because I didn't actually read the fucking thing. Okay. I was never charged with I've never even been accused of any fucking drug crimes. All right. Because that's never been my thing. Alcohol has always been my drug of choice, and it's as long as you're over 21, it's legal, and we're not going to talk about what happened before I was 21. So, but the point being, when you have these, they obviously didn't read what I wrote, right? So I sent a message back to this person, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not in any personal legal trouble. This is a very broad thing. And I think when you're discussing new laws or whatever, they should figure something out as a way to ban this private funding of shit. And I don't think anybody would have an issue if the Fioreous want to buy body armor for the police. I don't think that would be an issue. When you're privately paying the drug prosecutor, that's an issue. And I don't even know for sure if they still do that. I don't know who the drug prosecutor is, if they still do that. They might not. Because I think they were kind of figuring, because here's what they said. Here was their argument that, well, it wasn't private funding because it went into the general fund of the county and then they were paid with that. Well, here's the problem. Operation Our Town literally specifically sent $50,000 a year, or what I think it was $50,000, but they sent a specific amount to pay Pete Weeks' salary when he was the drug prosecutor. All right. So you can wash that money around all you want. Yeah, it is. Operation Our Town is a scam. And so here's the bigger picture here too. Once again, like I said, it doesn't mention Lenny or any of the Fioreous specifically, but there clearly was something going on in his business that he either was or wasn't aware of. These are the people holding the purse strings of Operation Our Town. Before Operation Our Town funds an operation, the board votes on whether or not we're going to fund this. Do you really think these people should have that much power? That's the question.
Negative. I don't think they should.
I mean, that's the question I've been asking for years, and nobody seems to
have an answer.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, when Shapiro was at the honestly, just in general, the Pennsylvania AG office is fucking horrible. When's the last time we had an AG that wasn't implicated in something? And if you're gonna say Shapiro, well, when he was a county commissioner, there was some shady shit that went on. You can look into that on your own time. But I mean, we had, and honestly, I think Kathleen Kane kind of got. I think she started going after the church, and they kind of decided to come after her. And you know, Randy Feathers will tell you, "Oh, we're investigating whatever." Yeah, okay. And then you were sending stupid emails, and you got caught, and you cried about it. And you tried to sue her, and I guess the first lawsuit I don't think worked out. I think it's like going back through court now. That would be interesting to do. I wonder if I get fucking Randy to call in. Randy Feathers, not Free Press guy.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with him, honestly. Like
I am glad he called in that night.
I think we had a great conversation. But Randy Feathers, on the other hand, it's like, wow, you know, because if you ever, he only like talks out of one side of his mouth. It's kind of funny, but. It would be interesting to have him call in because, and supposedly when he first went on as a DA detective, he still had his private investigator license, which is not allowed from what I understand. So it's kind of like, well, you know, whatever. And supposedly he only got that job because he helped out with Consiglio's campaign. So it was kind of like giving him the reach around or whatever. He'll probably sue me for that.
Probably.
I did not have sexual relations with Consiglio.
Sorry, as soon as you said about talking out one side of his mouth, my brain immediately went to like the song by Chris Webby, "Man Down."
Yeah.
You know, talking out the side of your mouth.
Yeah.
Man down.
It's just, I don't know. The problem is, I think the corruption, not just in Blair County, but just statewide in Pennsylvania is so bad. And honestly, like there's sects of it down here.
Yeah.
It's like Nicholas County. If you look into Nicholas County, there was literally a guy that almost got arrested for laughing at a cop because there's a guy, if you guys are at all interested, and he does stuff from, I think these videos come from all over the country, but he's the civil rights lawyer on YouTube. I'd look him up. He has a lot of good videos.
Yeah.
He literally had the Nicholas County prosecutor like trying to call him out for making this video about this stop. And this cop literally stops this guy because this guy was flashing his lights to let oncoming drivers know they were running a speed trap, right? So he pulls him over and was like, "Oh, yeah, that's super illegal. You can't have flashing lights." And he writes him up for the statute in West Virginia that is, you're not allowed to have flashing lights on, like emergency lights. Okay, that's what the statute's about. And he's claiming that flashing your fucking high beams is somehow a violation of this, which is ridiculous. Yeah. And the guy's literally in his car at the time looking up the law, and he starts laughing. And the cop's like, "Well, sir, you think that's funny? Well, yeah, I could take you to jail right now for this unsigned registration." So he pulls the guy out of the car, throws him in fucking handcuffs, and is going to take him to jail. And then he changes his mind, probably because like a supervisor got in his ear, like, "No, dude, don't do that."
You fucked up. Back off. Back off.
So the prosecutor goes after this attorney who's defending this guy and makes this video and puts it on Facebook, right? The best part is the fucking sheriff gets on, makes a video. It says, "This guy flashing it, we could have been looking for a murderer or a rapist or, and he flashes his lights to let people know there's a cop sitting there." The sheriff fucking says that on a live Facebook video. And I'm sitting there watching this like, what the fuck is happening right now? Literally, your deputy, because it was the sheriff's department, it was a deputy. Mm. You guys are, your deputy is a fucking moron. He gets called out being a fucking moron, and he tries to arrest the guy for laughing at him.
And you just double down and make it worse.
His skin is so thick. his dick is so small that he has to resort to, well, I can arrest you. I can arrest you. And then the sheriff defends him. That's embarrassing.
But
That's
on
embarrassing.
the flip side, as bad as that county is, we do have some genuine good cops down here.
Yeah, I
Like
haven't
anywhere.
had an issue with any
No,
of them.
honestly, the law enforcement that we've dealt with down here, the few times that we've dealt with them, and before anyone was like, oh my God, they got in trouble. No, he got a flat tire, and a cop pulled up behind him, was like, hey, you good? Do you need help? Do you need me to call anybody? Like, you good? Okay, I'm just going to sit here, make sure no one hits you. You good? Cool. That kind of interaction with cops. And, like,
Yeah.
honestly, when we first moved down, before you even got down here, our yard was a literal jungle. I could not let the dog out because she would vanish in the yard. So I ended up getting hold of somebody to cut our grass for us because I didn't have a mower. And
Well,
the gentleman that
just
came
so
out,
everybody knows, it's because we bought the house in the spring, and the owner we bought it off of, like, we
Never cut
basically
the grass.
we moved into a house that hadn't been occupied for probably 6 months.
oh, and you could tell the minute you walked in, you could just smell there's that little bit of like musty,
Yeah.
closed up smell. But
I'd
not
say
too
that
bad.
the dehumidifier probably ran nonstop for like a
Yeah.
week straight, and
Yeah.
then and it's like anything else,
Yeah.
You come into a new place and you got to deal with what you got to deal with.
But the gentleman that cut our yard, I came to find out is actually a cop in the town, Charleston. I'm trying to be kind of vague to not get him in trouble, but like through conversation, I obviously learned that he's a police officer, and he tells me that he's basically on some form of, I don't want to misquote and say the wrong thing, but he's essentially on leave right now because while he was on duty, he went in to get coffee. He came out and he came face to face with this gentleman, and this gentleman was wanted for, and I won't go into detail on here because it's pretty graphic and I don't want the video to get banned, but this guy did some really horrible things to some women, older women specifically. Basically, you're getting at what I'm getting at here. Major shitbag. Our friend, I'm just going to call him our friend, the officer came out. He didn't know who this person was. He didn't recognize him. He just went to get coffee. He came out. This guy sees a cop, assumes that he knows, and proceeds to come at him with a metal pipe. Our friend backs up. He ends up falling through the scuffle. He ends up having to use his weapon. It got down to the point where he was literally going to have to eat a charge to make sure that man went to jail. Thank God last second it didn't come to that, but that's fucked up.
Yeah,
Because, like, this guy's young. He's really young. Like, he was in the military. He got out. He's got 2 beautiful babies at home. He's got a wife. Like, he did everything right. And he literally had to sit there for a minute and contemplate, like, should I eat this charge and sit in jail myself as a cop? Bad place to be when you're a cop, then in jail. Or, let this guy go free so he can continue his shit.
yeah.
It just shows that the system's broken.
I don't. I there's probably more to that story.
There's a lot more to
But-
that story.
I will say one thing that I've found, because I do, like back whenever I was like, dry fire practicing every day and going to the range once a week, actually trying to get good at shooting. Another thing that I did was I watched a lot of tape. Essentially, there's a really great channel if anybody wants to see how real life self-defense situations really happen, because it happens. It's like instantaneous.
Sorry, our dog is crying.
Maddie, what are you doing? Come here.
What's wrong?
All right. So
Sorry.
anyway, there's this really great YouTube channel if you guys actually like want to watch tape, because if you're playing sports or whatever, what do? You watch tape, you learn how the other team acts. So I think from the self-defense perspective, if you watch other people ended up in less than desirable situations, you see how quick it happens, you see what happens, you see even if somebody's ready to respond, whatever weird shit happens when the adrenaline kicks in. There's a YouTube channel called Active Self-Protection, and they find videos from all over the world of people dealing with like self-defense scenarios, based real, actual like gas station tapes. All right. Great channel. Can't recommend it enough. So I was doing a lot of training, trying to get good. And it's just like, honestly, kind of lost my train of thought because the dog's flipping out.
Yeah.
But anyway, definitely check out that channel, guys.
But to reiterate, I only brought up what happened to our friend because, as much as we go over corruption and shit, I kind of want to point out that, like, we're not anti-police by any means. We support good police officers. There's a lot of good cops out there,
Oh, that
but
that was
there's a lot
back
of
to
shitty
that.
ones.
That was my point.
Yeah,
Most of these police
I got you.
shootings you see, when I watch them, most of them are justified by law. Now, there is a gray area where you can say, in this position, you're whether it's a cop or a self defense. Obviously the cops get the benefit of that more than you do if you got to kill somebody, but the cops, most of the time, what I see where people get angry is legally they're in a because it's almost like a Venn diagram of things where legally you're authorized to use deadly force in this scenario. The question is, did you need to? Because there is a little bit of a gray area. Now, like specifically in Pennsylvania. Well, if you fear for your life, okay, but there can be a situation where I might die from this person, but just how quick these situations change in real time is insane. To the point where, and I think there's even been studies done where basically the human brain can't process fast enough. So if you see a video where at the last minute somebody throws their hands up and a cop shoots them, it's like not even physically possible as a human being. You already committed to what you were doing, and now all of a sudden they decide to surrender at the last minute. Well, it
And not only that, like, unless you're in their shoes, you don't know how you're going to react to a lot of
right.
these situations, especially when it is literal life or death.
And
You have to make that snap decision consciously or unconsciously, and your body's going to react whether you want it to or not in certain situations because people naturally are going to protect themselves.
right. And honestly, one of the absolute worst shootings I've ever seen was a guy named Daniel Shaver.
I honestly don't know anything
No,
about that one.
no, well, I guess that's a multi-part question. So Deb asked, was George Baseline justified when camera's going to focus. Was George Baseline justified when he took the shot? He was justified to take the shot. The fact that he made a bad shot is also on him. Because the last time I checked, whether you're a cop or,
Anybody you're responsible for your
self-defender,
rounds.
civilian defender, whatever you want to call it, you even military, you're responsible for where your rounds go. Okay? So this story of he pushed her in front of you pulled the trigger, you're responsible for where the rounds go. Now, was he justified in that circumstance by law that she was in danger because this guy's wrestling for her gun? Yes. So I don't think there's an issue with was deadly force authorized. I think it absolutely was. That does not mean that he's not responsible for where his rounds go. That's how I'd answer that question.
Which one is that one?
That's the Ronda Russell one.
Oh, I remember that. I personally have a slightly different stand still on that. Simply, and again, this is just my opinion off of what I went through because when I was in the Navy, I specifically was a gunner's mate. And what I specifically was training for, my goal was to be a shooting instructor because I found out I'm a weirdo and I'm ambidextrous.
She ain't lying.
I can shoot with either hand. They found that I am right-handed but left eye dominant. So my teacher's like, ooh, a guinea pig. And they taught me to shoot with both hands. My end goal was to become a shooting instructor. And I know the discipline that they really, really impressed upon us when it came to shooting and the line and different things. So personally, the minute that she came into play, yes, he was wrestling for the gun. That makes it a deadly situation. But the minute that she was in the middle, I personally don't feel like deadly force was the call at that point. A taser maybe or anything else, but the minute she was in the middle of it like that,
well, that's what
I
I'm
feel
saying
like
is
my reaction would have been to use any other kind of aggressive force to stop him outside of deadly, because now she's in the middle, and not only that, from what I understand, I could be wrong, forgive me, the building that they were in, there was a lot of other civilians, so there's too many risk factors in my head addressing that situation as I understood it to justify, in my opinion, deadly force. force, yes, but not deadly, because there's too many people outside of the
Well,
one person that you're aiming for,
legally,
in my opinion.
legally, deadly force is authorized by the law because he's obviously putting her and everybody else at risk by fighting for her weapon, right? But at that point, maybe there's guys that would, I don't know, maybe George spent a lot of time at the range and thought he was confident making that shot. I don't know, but the fact still remains: he made the shot. He shot Rhonda. He's responsible for that. Period.
Exactly.
They can try and charge that other guy with murder all fucking day. And was he partially responsible for her death? Absolutely. But I would
feel like
say
there's more people responsible than just him.
I think it would be more responsible to charge him with manslaughter. I think that would be easier to get a conviction because the manslaughter charge of basically the main part of that charge is just indifference to human life, essentially. I think that's pretty much across all 50 states. But yeah, I think that would be more appropriate than the second-degree murder charge. I think that's just Pete just trying to stack it on. And the thing is, if they go to trial and they can't prove second degree and he gets away with it. Now, keep in mind, I don't think any jury in Blair County is not going to convict just because everybody knows what fucking happened that day. But I think by the letter of the law, if a jury would look and say, oh, you don't have, and then he essentially gets away with it, you know. And obviously George is no longer with us, so there's not going to be any accountability there. I know they're trying to sue his estate. I mean, but with this kind of situation, you can sue somebody. That doesn't bring back your loved one. No. Money's not going to fucking
At the
make
end
you
of the day,
feel
what
better.
happened to Rana was absolutely freaking horrible. There's no other way to put it.
Well, and so here's the other thing, and I'm not bashing Jim about this, but the sheriff's department response to this situation was, oh, well, we're going to have security at the magistrates, which they should have always had. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. What I'm asking is, how the fuck does that prevent this situation? This situation wasn't anybody coming in off the street. Having people at the front would have done absolutely nothing to prevent it. The problem was they didn't have enough fucking prison guards back there. That's one of the biggest issues. And
she should have never been
put. Did they change that? I don't think they did.
Her employer should have never put her into a position that she alone should have been the one to have to escort him to the bathroom, I think, or whatever it was. Like, she should have never been in that position by herself with someone like that.
There's that. And then there's also just the fact that they always have trouble finding, because the Blair County prison doesn't pay that well. So they have trouble finding people anyway. But the other aggravating factors, like, everybody knew this guy was talking about, like, basically pulling a suicide by cop or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So, and apparently that information wasn't relayed to her. She wasn't aware of it.
I know it was talked about a lot amongst other prisoners, and I heard from a couple people from other situations and whatnot. It was talked about a lot.
So that's the issue. You got actionable intelligence. You didn't use it. All right. That's another one of the issues. Yeah. So how do you prevent that? Well, you have enough staffing, for one. Personally, I don't think you have female guards solo taking male inmates to the bathroom. And you can call me sexist, whatever.
No, as a woman, I agree with that.
You don't do that. And, like, nothing against Rhonda. Like, she wasn't a big woman either.
No.
So if he's taking some dude that's 3 times her size and he decides to get feisty, what the fuck, you know? There's only so much you can do.
That's not sexist. That's the 100% truth. Like, I'm a woman, and I will say for, like, 100%. But I'm almost your height. But when it comes to physical prowess, you're going to beat me every single time. You're a man. You're built different. You were built to be stronger than I am. As much as I want to be stronger, I'm not. I know that.
We're going to get canceled for defining women and talking about physiology and holy shit.
But at the same time, like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not sexist to
it's
say.
Just a fact.
It's just a fact.
You put that into your, well, it's just like they won't have a male cop search a female suspect. That's just a thing. All right.
Yeah.
That's just a thing. So.
And it's not to, like, take anything away from her. It's just, it's for her safety.
Right.
I'm sorry. If you're, like, an itty bitty little thing and you got someone way bigger than you, like.
And I don't know how big that guy was, but obviously when he.
Apparently big enough to try and wrestle with her for her weapon.
Yeah. So
And from
it's
what I understand, like I know a couple people that knew Rhonda directly. She was a really nice woman. She was a very sweet woman. Like she definitely did not deserve that. No one ever deserves something like that for one. But
that's
that whole
how
situation was just, it should have never even come into play.
that's
There's
how it
so many things
happens.
that should have just never lined up for that to happen.
99% of the time, whether it's the COs, cops, whatever, the ones that get hurt, that get killed in line of duty, are always the best ones because they're the ones that they're generally good people and they will let their guard down when they shouldn't, and bad things happen. But I haven't seen, obviously we haven't been up there for a year, but I haven't seen or heard anything that they've really done to address what happened.
No, they haven't
They
really
just
done anything to change the procedure to prevent it from happening again. It should have never happened to begin with, but now they're showing just how freaking ignorant they are by not changing anything to prevent it from happening again.
yeah, it's just
As I always say, one's too many. One is always too many. And the fact that they're doing nothing to make sure that that number doesn't keep climbing absolutely disgusts me.
yeah, it's just. But that's the Blair County way. It's just do the same shit and expect a different result. And
That's the
the
definition
reason
of
they got
insanity.
themselves in that situation is the mentality, oh, it'll never happen here. It'll never happen here. And that's honestly the worst way you can prepare for anything is, oh, it'll never happen here. Well, when it
Assume the
does happen,
worst.
you're extra fucked then because you weren't prepared at all.
I would rather assume the worst and be pleasantly surprised when the best outcome happens instead.
And if they want to complain, oh, budget this, budget that, well, why don't you take some fucking money from Operation Our Town? Why don't you have them fund something other than these stupid fucking drug busts where you're picking up junkies
Yeah.
and, not really doing anything productive? Because even Pete himself, hell, Deb and I did a podcast over a year ago when there was this article in the paper of Pete Weeks basically crying about, well, we don't have enough money, so we can't prosecute. That's why the drug problem's getting worse because we don't have enough money. And that's just bullshit. It's because your strategy sucks.
Exactly.
I mean,
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is a definition of
Yep.
insanity.
That's your favorite quote.
No, it's not. I absolutely loathe that quote. And frankly, it feels bitter and nasty coming off my tongue when I say it. So thank you for that.
It is true, though.
It is true.
It is true. And
I hate that because I had a very narcissistic ex that always tried to tell me that I was insane because I apparently was doing the same thing over again, expecting a different result. That's a whole nother freaking rabbit hole I'm not going down tonight. I'm tired.
that's what his mom does. She keeps fucking different guys expecting a different result. That's right. I said it.
We do need to do a podcast on them at some point because I'm sure y'all actually will be maybe twistedly surprised.
I'll
they're
tell
on
you.
this
I'll
topic.
tell you what. I fucking wish.
One of them would fucking call in.
Well, either call in or back whenever the Sam McClure shit was going on. I wish I would have known who her kids were because I went to school with them. Wish I would known.
I wish I had known more at the time because I remember when that was going on because she was freaking out so hard about it to me. And like, I ended up finding one of your pages way back then. And I was like, who is this person? Why are you going after her? What did I miss? Because I didn't know any better at the time.
It was crazy because so she makes this, and I don't think we ever really found out what the allegation was.
No.
There's just this allegation that Sam McClure did something, and he comes out and says he kissed her. I don't know. The whole thing was weird, but you never actually heard what the actual allegation was. But what we did find was supposedly before or after whatever had happened, there's a picture of
Supposedly?
like
No.
Sam.
I'm going to stop you right there. It's
his-
not supposedly. It's 100% guaranteed factual because I still have the picture.
So they went to like the gala. Or
They
whatever.
went to
They're
the
all
like
there.
whatever police gala
She's-
together.
She's so scared of Sam that he's not allowed to do his job. He has to leave the sheriff's department, but then they're there all palling around with their arms around each other at this fucking
And I
gala.
happen to know for a fucking fact. Bitch, call me out on it. I dare you. I know for a fucking fact that that man was over at your house multiple times after the fact. For someone who is so scared of him, awfully funny you keep inviting him over for fucking dinner.
Yeah. So, like I said, the situation's weird. I don't know exactly what was going on, but
Sorry, I take this personally.
She wants to claim that, oh, I was scared of it. Yeah, bullshit.
Bullshit. Sorry, I absolutely
Bullshit.
hate this woman with a burning passion. Like, frankly, I hate her probably more than anybody in the world. And I'm so excited for a chance to do a podcast now that I can about her.
She was defeated.
She was ultimately defeated.
She thinks
I played
she
her at her
runs
own
that
fucking
fucking
game.
courthouse, and yeah, it didn't work out.
No, it didn't. And frankly, I'm not going to be satisfied until every single fucking injustice that she has done to the people of Blair County and beyond is freaking rectified. I want to see her go down. She screwed with me and my child for enough years.
Yeah.
Every single part of that family is just absolutely disgusting and polluted at this point, and people need to be aware of that so they can avoid those sons of bitches.
Well, and she's got like 100 grandkids, so like I don't know why she needs to.
Why she's so fixated on our child?
Yeah, she just can't stand that one of them got away.
Basically.
And won't be tainted by that fucked up family.
Exactly. I really just want to throw her name out there right now, but I want to wait for a later podcast.
All right. I was about ready to cook it off, so you're lucky you stopped me.
I mean, if you want to go
Well-
there, you can.
well-
I'm not going to say it
Well,
yet.
now we're gonna start the intro. The intro on that podcast is gonna be just a picture of her. The picture. Maybe I can find the picture. Explain.
If you
this.
can't, I can. I have it on
Explain.
that hard drive over there.
Explain.
Because I save everything. I'm a hoarder when it comes to pictures, y'all. I got 15,000 plus pictures on my phone right now.
Call in Jan 412-440-3484.
Please, I would love a chance to remind you that I beat you at your own fucking game, you stupid cunt. I say that word. I'm a woman. I'm allowed to. I'm sorry to any other women that are offended by it, but frankly, the shoe fits.
Oh yeah.
The shoe freaking fits.
Yep.
I'm going to call it how I see it. So as I said,
All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap it up for tonight because we pretty much got everything in.
and I'm
we're-
fired up, and if we go down the rabbit hole, it's going to be another hour, and I can't handle it.
But we definitely got plenty of ideas for shows here in the future, and unfortunately, once again, we didn't get a call from Mr. Patrick. So
Sad.
he probably had his phone set to like Pacific time or something. So he's gonna call us in 3 hours. Or answer the phone.
Yeah, probably.
All right, guys. Till next time.
Have a good night.